Alright. Sorry, I'm talking to a lizard. Hi, how are you today? My name's Ash. Um, I do some stuff here on YouTube, you know how it goes. Today we're going to be talking about something really specific. And I just got done recording the video, and now I figured I should probably go back and redo it. But we're going to talk about something a little crazy. I kind of recently self-identified as a psycho, more or less. Or it can be psychotic. Let's think about it. So we're gonna put it in relativity to my dad. Um, there's one story that comes to mind specifically. We live in Texas. Big surprise. He's in Oklahoma now. Anyways. Whoa. I'm so glad you did not sting my face, friend. I'm trying to do this in a tasteful way because the last one was just all over the place. There was a restaurant we used to go to called Red Peppers or something like that in Denton. It was a Chinese buffet. And I guess we had some problem with the food or something, and we were a little upset, and basically we just didn't have a good time. We got to the point anytime we would go out with my dad, family outings became a scary adventure because we knew he was going to blow up. He was going to explode. Something was going to trigger him, and we were going to end up having a bad day. Because it's not just like a quick little moment, it would be like he gets into a bad mood, something triggers him instantly, and he stays like that for hours, possibly even days. Now, this isn't meant to slap down on my dad. Not at all. In fact, this is more or less calling myself out. But so we would go to that restaurant. And one day he was just having a bad day or something. He's like, dude, the food sucked, and all he was doing was complaining and yada yada yada. And me being a kid, I decided to say I also saw a cockroach on the wall because I actually did. I didn't lie. But that was the final nail in the coffin. I'm like, oh no, I fucked up. Because at that point, he got out of his car, ran inside, and screamed his head off until we got our refund. Well, later on in life, I'm like, holy fuck, that person is my dad. I might be screwed. Because that's in me too. In fact, there was a moment in time where I reacted just like that, and I scared someone, and it scared me. I didn't like the look on their face. It was the same look I used when I looked at my dad. So at that point, I decided to start hiding and burying my emotions, especially anger. As we've talked about before, you gotta have sacred spaces. You gotta learn to be okay, to release emotion and allow yourself to feel. But growing up, I didn't. So I stored all that. I stored all the trauma, all the pain, all the anger, all the sadness, all the happiness. I essentially was taught I couldn't be emotional at all. So I shut down and I stuffed everything. Well, I mean, to go off that age-old idiom, what happens if you shake a Coke bottle or a can or something, you just shake and shake and shake, it explodes. And oftentimes it just ends up exploding on whoever opened the can. Doesn't necessarily mean it's their fault. Well, what is that? That is a pattern of overstimulated nervous system. For me, my nervous system has been on fire for over 20 years. I have been replaying nasty patterns in my head, bad energetic cycles, negativity, that's been keeping me stuck. And part of it has actually been I don't want to be like my dad, which was one of the negative patterns. So I actually kind of had to accept it and be like, sadly, we share the same brain chemistry. But if that's going to be the case, it's like, okay, well, if we are the same in that respect, How can I not be the same? How could I do better? And then that's again realizing my nervous system has been on fire for 20 years. I am still fairly reactive. As much as I've been healing myself and growing, I've still got some of that little lizard brain, you know. You walk into a forest, you see a lizard and it goes, gah! And just gone. I still got a little bit of that going on. That's because that's your fight or flight system being hypervigilant, being over the top, being constantly active, your nervous system constantly engaged, constantly feeling like reflexes. Your reflexes are so fucking natural. Like, say for instance you get jumped. Your body increases your reflection time or your reaction time to adjust out of safety. So if someone comes up to you, you make a swat, and you're like, I am so sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But you did it reflexively because your body learns you're not safe. So again, this past week has been absolutely debilitating to me and it's been terrible. I also learned the joke about a roach motel. I thought it was because the motels look like, the little buildings look like motels. No, it's because apparently anything with a 2-star has roaches. Ask me how I know. Anyways. So now I'm here in a more grounded space. I'm able to do this video a little bit better. But from the outside, it looks like psychosis, a psycho, you know. On the inside, half the time, he doesn't even remember it. I actually remember growing up, I used to let my anger get so bad, I actually would black out. That's how I broke a window, I broke my toe. Some simple stuff like that. So I'm like, all right. I've got these patterns encoded in me. Unfortunately, it's down to a genetic level. So how do I rewire my brain? How do I not do this? And again, it's realizing the patterns. My nervous system has been on fire for years, and the only way to heal it is to let it play those patterns out. Like, say, for instance, I was angry at something that my sister did when I was a kid, maybe, you know? And maybe I never got over it, maybe I never let go, so that pattern keeps looping. It's like an infinite train that won't get off the track until you break the track. So your nervous system learns it's not safe, and it locks this track in place, and then it got this track in place, this track in place, this track in place, and all of a sudden, you got 50 trains running around, acting all crazy, making your brain go all crazy. But that's because we don't realize those trains are moving. So in a way, you have to break the track, you have to break the cycle. You gotta look at it and be like, alright, which mother effer is driving this train? Who is driving this train? What memory, what version? What version of me? Was there a version of me in the past as a kid, a teenager, an adult? Sometimes it's all the above. Sometimes it triggers a memory from each. Maybe it's a pattern that repeats. And sometimes you have to go back a step and hit that step and then realize, oh wait, and then that step unlocks. So sometimes it's just a domino effect all the way back to like, shit, when I was 10 years old and my sister smashed my Legos. I don't know, you know? But we don't know those tracks are running until you look at them and you see, oh my God, all of these, let's say background services, kind of going back to the teaching us, pretending we're computers. You've got all these background services running and we don't know that. So then we're lagging and our brain's not working and we're not functioning properly. And we don't know why. Well, that's because we have 50 different applications in the background using up our CPU. So when we actually try to use our brain or use our body in a proper manner, the system gets overloaded and we fucking shut down. It's over. That's when we react. That's when we flip the fuck out. That's when we have a bad day. Now, it's not easy. Like I said, this last week specifically, I don't know if I said this, I recorded this video twice. This last week, it's definitely a lesson I've been learning. It is definitely a lesson that's been kicking my ass. I am a little more reactive than I'd like to admit. But that's because my nervous system has been on fire. And I've been doing my best. That is why I'm out in the forest with my shoes off recording a video. That was the only way for me to get in the right headspace to even do this. And that's actually kind of where I've been for the past 6 months. Again, people think I'm absolutely psychotic because I quit my job. But what I did was I realized I had all these background services fucking up my brain. So I quit my job and I said, alright, I'm going to lock myself in a damn box. It's almost kind of like a very radical version of, what do you call it? Shit, I just had it. Sensory deprivation. It was almost like a sensory deprivation. Because say, if I'm going to work every day, and then I'm going home and playing video games, there ain't no time for me to unwind. There's no time for me to actually look at myself and reflect. Because I'm too busy thinking about what happened at work, what happened with him, what happened there, blah, 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 blah. So, quitting my job, unfortunately, was a very necessary evil. Because I've been able to step back and be like, oh my god, look at all those processes running around in the back of my brain. We're going to have to go through and cut those one at a time. Because if I don't, the next job I go into, I'm going to get fired from just the same. It's not going to make a damn difference. I technically quit my last job, but one of the main jobs I had I really liked, I got fired from. Why? Because I had a bunch of unknown patterns running my life, ruining my life. And I repeated those patterns, which led me to get fired. Ultimately, whether I believe it was fair or not, whether I believe it was my fucking fault or not. There were definitely things I did that led me to that point. So it's like, alright, fuck. How do I do this then? Because while I'm at work, the job I was working at, I was the only person that ran the store. From 9 o'clock to about 2 o'clock, I ran the store by myself. My managers, my owners, I was actually the manager. Being the store manager, I wasn't even allowed to hire people. So, my owners refused to hire people. And then everyone else got to come in late too. So I'd be there essentially from 8 o'clock in the morning till about 3, maybe even 4. And it was constant. It wasn't just, oh, haha, they forgot. No, it was like every day. Every day I was by myself. Every day I was there till 4. You want to tell me when I truly had a moment to sit down and calm the fuck down because my nervous system was too busy bugging out from work? Stressing out about work? Trying to run a fucking store by myself and being the only employee in the store? You really expect me to sit down and do shadow work and work on my brain? Are you... What? Alright. No. So whether it was stupid or not, I quit my job, I took my time, and I've truly been working on myself. It has been an absolute shithole. I'm not gonna lie. It's been terrible. But, as we all know, with sickness, like you get sick, it's not pretty. Anytime I'd get sick, anytime as a kid I got sick, I would be down for 3 months. I would get the flu, and I would be in a couch for 3 months. It was gross, it was horrible, you look like shit, you feel like shit, you're throwing out shit on both ends, you're puking, you're pooping, alright, too much info. So basically, you get the point. But in order to feel better, you have to purge all that shit out. So it's a gross and messy and effed up process, but it's unfortunately very, very necessary. The whole point of this story is, it's supposed to be messy. It's kind of the point. Because, honestly, throughout this process, I have been beating up myself. I'm like, dude, I shouldn't be acting like this. I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be acting a fool. I shouldn't be all crazy. I'm working on myself. And it's like, no. You're right. You're working on yourself. That's why it looks like this. Let it be messy. Just like a puzzle. You got a puzzle. What do? You cut open the bag and you dump it out and it's just a huge fucking mess. Well, you know how I do puzzles? I sort it out. Even as a kid, I would meticulously sort my puzzles. I would sort the corner pieces, I would sort similar colors and patterns, and then I would start putting the puzzle together. I systemically went through and built puzzles. Even as a kid. That's the exact same thing here. It's the exact same thing. You take all the pieces of yourself, you throw them on a table and be like, alright, bitch, let's do this. And by the time I'm done, it's gonna be an amazing picture. Yeah, sometimes you gotta step away, leave the puzzle unfinished for a few days. take a break, come back and work on it. It's not a sit down and do it all in an 8-hour process. You do that, you get burnt the hell out. I'm trying not to overshare this video. God, I'm roasting. I'm sitting in some sunlight and it's roasting me. I think it's actually getting too hot. I'm gonna have to go inside, find an inside, and go inside. I actually grew up believing I was a psycho because of manipulation. Oh my god! That is a fucking huge fish! Oh, I am so sorry, but there is a 10-pound fish. Well, it doesn't make any sense. It even looks like a koi fish. Koi fish cannot live in that pond. What is that? Anyways. ADHD brain. Shiny. Crow brain. Fish. Backtrack. I don't know. It's essentially what I'm doing now. So you got all these background applications running, and I actually think this is the end of the video. I'm starting to loop myself. Pretty sure I already said that's, why I left my job, why this is going down. I realized that I had to completely halt everything. Not just a quick patch, not just a quick work. I had to completely scrap everything and go back to ground zero and be like, all right, how can we make this work so I don't keep getting fired? So I don't keep ending up in jobs I hate. So I don't keep, because again, my job I really cared about, that's exactly what happened. Patterns played out, and even though it was a higher paying, it wasn't a great job, it was not. But it was the highest paying job I had in a while. And old patterns played out, and it got me fired. So, and then working the next few jobs, I realized it was still happening. So I'm like, all right, man, how do we do this? How do I prevent this from happening? Oh. Uh-oh. Well, I'm going to be putting my socks back on. Fuck, my bad. Sorry, turtle. What happened was I just looked down and found a big pile of poison ivy. I had poison ivy once. It's not fun. 10 out of 10. Don't recommend it. Oops. So that's kind of what I've been going on. So the manipulation hits, though, and then, they manipulate you, they make you feel bad, and then, oh, my butt. I'm trying to put on my socks. I'll put this down. So you get manipulated, they try to make you feel bad, because they made you react, they made you feel bad, and then when you react, when you explode, they call you crazy, they call you psycho, they call you have issues, you have anger management. But yet they're the ones, obviously, that are triggering it. So you get to the point you're like, all right, well, you believe you're actually psychotic, you believe you're actually broken, when in reality, you just got too many tabs open. You got too many tabs open and your CPU is throttling, screaming at you, God, please kill me. Unplug. Alt F4. Just take me out. I love that whole computer analogy. It's so easy to use. Was that it? Am I done? I'm getting kind of hot. A little warm in the sun. Brighter than the sun. What am I doing? Where am I going? I don't know, I said a lot more in my last video, but that's also because I was a little crazy. A little manic. Overall, the lesson is you're just human. So am I. We're trying our best. And although I really wish everyone was kind of like me, you know, everyone has the same level of awareness, because I just get sick and tired of having to be the bigger person. Because I'm aware of my problems and my traumas. Doesn't mean they are. Doesn't mean you are. Doesn't mean... So I gotta be like, alright, well, this person's just hurting, this person's just playing off their trauma. I definitely am allowed to be pissed off, but just gotta remember we're human. It's okay. It's okay to be human. It's okay to be human. It's alright for you to make mistakes, for you are a human, and we are trying. I really want to walk out of this forest and actually live by my damn code, because I can tell you I have not been this past week. I have not exactly been nice. Little too reactive, and that's kind of what led to this video. As I'm doing my best, but my nervous system is just on fire. I lost my apartment this week. I've been to 3 different motels, and they've just been a nightmare. So, as you can imagine, my nervous system's on fire. I'm acknowledging this, and I'm trying to work through it and do better. Am I going to blow up again? Quite possibly. It's very possible. Am I going to try not to? Yes. Am I going to do my best? Yes. Am I going to get onto myself? Well, I'll try not to. But just give yourself some damn credit. And I'm saying that, but I'm basically using this as a mirror towards myself. Give yourself some credit. It's really hard work. If you're actually doing the shadow work, it's not easy. Essentially what I did was, like I said, I put myself in a box, I quit my job, and I just, one at a time, I looked at all these crazy applications I have running in the background. It's not easy work. So if you are doing this, if you are truly doing the work, I commend you. I'm proud of you. Almost choked on my own words. Well, I'm officially burning up, so I'm going to leave. Oh, my butt. Oh, my legs. Oh, my back. Forest, please learn to grow cushiony chairs. I would really appreciate it. Thank you. Have a great day.